Reflections from Torch Trust, focusing on Christian faith and sight loss.
Hello and welcome to Reflections, the show from Torch Trust exploring faith and disability in today's world. I'm your host, Marilyn Baker, and I'm so glad you've joined me for the next 30 minutes. Today, we're picking up the second part of our conversation with comedian and magician Tom Elliott and singer Charlie Green. We'll also be hearing about some exciting new resources from Thy Kingdom Come as they celebrate their 10th year. Last week, we heard how Tom Elliott started out doing comedy in church, found his way into ventriloquism, and eventually made it onto the mainstream circuit. Now it's time to pick up the thread, and this week we'll be starting with Charlie's journey.
Charlie, you came to attention during Britain's Got Talent and you were very young. Can you tell us a little bit about the journey from then till now? And also maybe how did singing start for you in the first place?
Okay, well, I guess going from the second question, singing started for me. Well, my mum is Filipino, so all Filipinos love singing, and that's a true stereotype. It's absolutely true. We love singing, but my dad was a professional singer, so I just was around that growing up, and I was never forced into it. I just absolutely loved singing and music and entertainment, so I don't really remember not singing. And I performed up until 11, which was the age I was, or 10 or 11, when I auditioned for Britain's Got Talent. And then when I did that show, my life just completely changed in terms of I was just going from school. I was in middle school, where I'm from. We have a middle school, and then everybody recognized me. It was really crazy. Britain's Got Talent is still a really big show, but it was really big. This was the second series, and my life completely changed. I was shipped all over around the world performing. So for about 3 years, it was completely different. And then usual things happened. My voice broke, changed. Became a man's voice. And then I couldn't get any work for about 4 years. So that was really a time when my faith was tested. But it was a great time because I found my identity in Christ and not just in my voice. And then I started to tour again, and then a few years down the line, we end up doing this crazy little venture we have with Tom, which I've got to say, has been probably the most enjoyable thing I've done so far. So there we go. That's my story.
Yeah, incredible. And I can imagine with male singers as well, it really can go both ways because some people are lucky and kind of get a new version of, a singing voice, and some people lose it. I'm a singer myself, so I've seen that happen to boy singers that I know. So I can imagine how difficult that must have been, that transition period for you.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and all boys go through it. But when my career was just sort of catapulted into this new thing at quite a young age, so it didn't really give me chance to get my new voice under the radar. It was sort of, I was expected to be what I was before by record producers and all that sort of stuff, and it wasn't. And it took a while to really get it. Well, not back, but to find my new voice, and that was a really tough time. Actually, it was a tough time, but like I said, my faith really grew at that point, but not because of my singing voice, but just my whole identity in Him was sort of. It became really apparent to me what life was for, and it wasn't just about my singing, and I had to learn that lesson.
Yeah. No, it's a painful lesson, I guess, sometimes to learn, but good when you come out the other side of it.
For sure. And He blessed me, so much, even in that time. And I feel just very thankful to have the opportunity to keep doing what I love doing, and that's kind of what we do with this tour. It's feeling good, and it comes from that knowledge of him, and everything else pours out because of that. And we love entertaining and sharing that.
Yeah, yeah. So, Tom, how would you describe Charlie as a performer, and what do you think that he brings to your partnership?
Don't be honest. Don't say it, Tom.
No, do you know, Charlie's outstanding, genuinely, in terms of, you can see it if you look back at his Britain's Got Talent audition. You can tell immediately that there was significant talent here, and yeah, I mean, I think not only is Charlie outstanding as a performer, but actually the car journeys the car journeys have been great fun. The whole thing around the tour has been a delight to work with Charlie, and yeah, so we're booking in all, but I think music and comedy works really well together. I think it's just people love both, and I think an evening that has both just complements each other. And as we said earlier, like the rapport between me, Charlie, and then the audience, and it just feels like let's just say we end on the song "Sweet Caroline," and you can't finish a show without singing "Sweet Caroline," right? And so, I tell you what, there's a moment because it just has everybody singing, it has everybody on their feet, everybody smiling, and it's just a beautiful way to wrap up what is a definitely evening of feeling good.
And speaking of feeling good, you both are going on tour. What is it that people can expect from this tour?
Well, I think people can expect from the Feeling Good tour lots of really good, fun music, to be entertained, to laugh, to cry, to share together, to all of those great emotions that we have as human beings. That's what you can expect, and everyone will experience it in a different way. But really, what you're going to see is two entertainers, two Christian men that are professional entertainers. This is what we do. This is our job. Really, just having fun, and I think that's what it's about. And in turn, we hope people come and enjoy it and bring friends, and perhaps throughout all of the event, the show, that they will find something as well as be entertained that might question something about their faith, and that's kind of what this is all about, really. So it's all the good, positive stuff that, let's be honest, there is so much rubbish that's going on in the world, and it's so sad, and we just hope that whatever people are going through, worries, troubles, that they will be able to just that will take their mind off it for a couple of hours and have a great time. And that's kind of what the show is. So feeling good is exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, and one thing just to add to that is that both of us throughout the evening share our faith, and the beautiful thing, it's really light touch, but the way that it's been designed is that whether you have never been to church before, whether you've not got a faith, whether you don't believe it, whether you think it's ridiculous, or whether you've been a Christian for years and years, you are welcome, and you'd enjoy, and you can come out of the evening feeling uplifted.
I just love the name as well, like the Feel Good Tour. You read that and you think this is going to be really amazing. And I think you're right. Both of you have mentioned the news and how difficult things are in the world, and you just got to find things to switch off from. So how can people find out more about the tour, book tickets, to come and see you on the Feel Good Tour and hopefully feel good with it?
Yeah, so all the dates and the venues or churches are on feelinggoodtour.co.uk. So they're all listed there. There's also, if you belong to a church or run a venue and you'd like to host a tour, there's an email address at the bottom of that page for you to get in touch, and we can explore that with you together. So yeah, we're open for dates. We've already got dates coming in addition to the ones that we've got listed. We've got dates coming in for next year even, and so that's exciting. And so feelinggoodtour.co.uk, whether you want to come or whether you want to host or both, you can find all the details there. feelinggoodtour.co.uk.
That all sounds really, really incredible. And I wish you the best of luck. And I'm sure you will have success with this tour, both for yourselves as entertainers and also to really cheer up the audience in a world that isn't quite so easy today. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming on Reflections. It's been a pleasure talking to you both.
Linn, thank you so much, and all the best to Torch Trust as well.
And just a reminder that if you'd like to catch up with them on tour or know someone who might be interested in hosting a venue, you can find all the details at www.feelinggoodtour.co.uk. That's www.feelinggoodtour.co.uk. Now, some of you may already be familiar with Thy Kingdom Come, the initiative that encourages people to pray for 5 people in their community over 10 days, beginning on Ascension Day and ending on Pentecost. This year, Ascension Day falls on the 14th of May, with Pentecost on the 24th. And this year is a particularly special one because Thy Kingdom Come is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Here's Jean Kerr to tell us about some of the new resources available this year.
Hi, it's Jean Kerr here from the Thy Kingdom Come team. And as we approach this 10th experience of Thy Kingdom Come, I'm really excited to tell you that the Novena Reflections this year are written by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dame Sarah Mullally, and the prayer journal is written by Canon Chris Russell, both of which we are delighted to know will be available in Braille and in audio version. As usual, we'll have a Cheeky Pandas episode for Pentecost with activities for children, and those will appear also for children with additional needs. I'm really excited to tell you about the brand new children's prayer adventure, and we will also be having our youth digital detox again, and a new partnership with I Sing Pop. Now, I Sing Pop reached thousands of children in state schools with their wonderful music and activities. Also, there will be our daily prayer app alongside daily videos, all with British Sign Language added to them. And all these resources can be ordered now from cpo.org.uk. And of course, you can see a lot of things, including our digital downloads, on our website, TKC Global. I do hope that you will have a wonderful time with the Thy Kingdom Come resources this year. And of course, if there's anything you wish us to help you with, perhaps you can make contact with me at jean.kerr@lambethpalace.org.uk. Thank you.
If you'd like to get hold of any of those resources in Braille, giant print or audio, our client services team will be happy to help. You'll find their details at the end of this show. Or for anything else Thy Kingdom Come related, you're welcome to contact Jean directly at jean.kerr@lambethpalace.org.uk. That sounds great, doesn't it? Now it's time for our thought for the week, written by Alan Vogt and read by Grace Dawson.
I read recently of a young man who volunteered to spend 9 months in a kibbutz youth camp in Israel. He imagined he would be fruit picking in the sunshine or that sort of job, but he was given the indoor task of washing up in the kitchen. When he had finished the huge pile of plates and dishes, he was given a large stainless steel oven rack with the request, "Give that a clean, would you?" It was filthy as it hadn't been cleaned for ages, encrusted with goo hardened by many hours in the oven at high temperatures. Resentfully he cleaned it, taking an hour to scrape off all the dirt, with resentment building up. Here are these kibbutzniks taking advantage of a foreigner, giving him a job no one had bothered to clean for weeks. When the job was done, the stainless steel racks were sparkling. "Wow," said the lady who had given him the job. "I only meant you to give it a quick wipe." Just a misunderstanding. How often arguments, quarrels, fights, and even wars could have been prevented if the two parties had sat down and discussed their disagreements. As Churchill once said, better jaw than war. Hence the need for arbitration with impending strikes. How important it is to avoid rushing into conflicts without seeing the other person's point of view. A historical example of misunderstanding was at the charge of the Light Brigade. The story is controversial, but it appears that Lord Raglan, overall commander of the British troops in the Crimea, had intended to send the Light Brigade to prevent the Russians removing captured guns. Due to miscommunication in the chain of command, the Light Brigade was sent on a frontal assault against an artillery battery. The light cavalry came under direct withering fire, resulting in high British casualties. Tennyson, in his famous poem, called it a blunder. One of the classic disagreements in the Bible was with Jesus and the Jewish leaders on the correct attitude to the Sabbath. Jesus said the Sabbath was instituted by God for the benefit of mankind, a day of rest and worship. The Pharisees had made hundreds of petty rules to restrict working on the Sabbath, making it a day of oppression rather than one of joyful relaxation. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 2, verses 1-6, Solomon writes, "My son, accept my words. Turn your ear to wisdom, apply your heart to understanding, call for insight. The Lord gives wisdom. Let us be wise, to be able to avoid misunderstandings."
In times like these, what a comfort it is to know that God is always in our corner. I'm afraid that's all we have time for today, but we'll be back next week with more stories and reflections. If you'd like to find out more about Torch Trust and how we can support you, our client services team would be very happy to hear from you. You can call us on 01858 438 260. That's 01858 438 260. Or email us at info@torchtrust.org. We're also on social media. Just search for Torch Trust on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. So from me, Marilyn, and everyone on the Reflections team, goodbye for now, and God bless.
You've been listening to Reflections from Torch Trust.